Hey, welcome, Sandra, y'all. I'm Leanne, and this is Scotch on the Bayou. And thanks so much for being here. I am so excited for tonight. You have no idea, because my bestie with the Ardbeg habit is on, and we're going to do a continuation of the video that we shot in January that we just released last night. Yesterday. But yeah, so excited. Thanks. Already got a pile of people in from all continents, as I can see. Jimmy Jazz, of course. Thank you, dear. Yes, crack open that Scorch. Scorch will be had tonight. Got great stories about that. And super excited that you're here, friend. We got Jerry Miller. Yeah, Oogie. Got some Oogie going on the core expression. Just that's probably, oh man, I don't know. I waffle back and forth, but Oogie is near and dear my heart. Yeah, so I'm super excited, y'all. Very excited. I've had the best time. We did this video that we released, these Ardbeg Committee releases, and it was a lot of footage because we had a lot of fun. And it's the longest video that is on there. It's 45 minutes. And I'm going to tell you, if you have to do it as a podcast, do it as a podcast. But it is so much fun. And I want to bring in right away the person who makes the fun, who brings the fun. And that would be my dear friend, Jennifer. Um, Hello. Everyone say hello to Jennifer.
Hello. You caught me with my nose in a glass of Ardbeg as
I
you
can't
brought me into
imagine.
the studio. Hi,
I can't
everyone.
imagine. Oh, welcome and thank you so much for doing this. I mean, I know we'll kind of get into why we shot that video here in a bit, but no, I if everybody can take a nice gander at her background, and you will see all the beautiful dark green bottles behind her.
My little
Um,
baby.
Oh yeah, she got it. She got it going on. But yeah, so it's gonna be a fun show, and I'm glad everybody's here for it. I just want to say hello again to some folks that are in there. We've got Peter in tonight again. Hey, a 2014 Oogie, 2014. Oh my heavens. That's really interesting. I couldn't imagine one would last that long at my house.
Yeah, tell me about right.
I'd have had that killed a long time ago, dear.
Yeah, Oogie goes
Um,
real fast.
yeah, it really is. And yeah, no committee. The thing about committee releases is sometimes they don't even get to wherever you may be. You know, that's a really big deal.
For sure.
Hubby's holding down. Hey, sweetie. Jerry, Jerry says your wife would say warped minds. Oh no, the best of minds. Hey, Mark JG, my
Hey.
friend. Thank you for being here. And Mark was with me 2 weeks ago when we went through port matured expressions. That's really cool. Um, let's see who else is. Hey, John, good to see you. Another fellow Islay Whiskey person. Um, yeah, so Jimmy's in, and Mark, and Hoagie is in from Berlin. Hello, my illustrious people from everywhere. Greetings from the land of over engineering. You're a hoot, friend. That is a hoot. Oh gosh. Um, we've got Chuck in from the West Coast. Hey, dear. Yeah, and if you're drinking an Ardbeg, you need to let us know. Let me know which one you're drinking. Um, if you have a committee release, great. If you got core expression, that's super too, you know? So Hoagie says, hello, Jennifer. You are Ardbegian creature of excellence.
Oh, thank you.
So speaking of Ardbegians, as those of us are known, and Andrew says hello too. Hey,
Hi.
Andrew. Good to see you, my friend. Um, so I posted today that you and I were going to do the show tonight, and I tagged Cam, who's Ardbeg Cam on Instagram. He's the U.S. Ambassador for Ardbeg, and I told him that we were going to make him proud, and he said, "As good Ardbegians shall," you know. So I think Ardbeg is going to get a lot of push from
Right.
the two of us because we are definitely big
We're
fans.
definitely Ardbegians. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Daniel, good to see you, friend. Yeah, please pop in from New York. this guy is going in September, I think, right, to the Islay Whisky Academy.
Oh, so lucky.
If you don't catch some of this, I've got a little bit of a slideshow, Daniel. So pop through there, and then let's talk before you get headed east, friend. And so, John, what are you drinking? So, no poison ice allergies. I feel you, friend. I do. And she went. So
Ardbeg,
yeah,
we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Just have a dram. It'll clear it all
right.
out.
I know. little whiskey will take right that care. So, what are you nosing tonight, Jennifer?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Leanne. I am nosing. I got my hands on some Ardcore, the newest committee release.
Ardcore, okay.
Did, and let me grab the bottle here. It's very cute, very punk rocky, right? I like the decor. Sorry, like this is my first live stream, so if I'm looking and turning things in the wrong direction, don't laugh at me.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. So Ardcore just came out not too long ago, and it is black roasted malt. So it has just got a very, I mean, it's ex-bourbon, right? So I mean, it's a fairly light color, all things considered, but it's just like a dark, bitter cocoa nose. I'm just digging this. It's like you're having a little, I don't know, chocolate truffle with a little bit of smoky whiskey in it. It's really nice. I'm really liking the committee release.
Let's go back and think about that in a moment. A chocolate truffle with some smoky whiskey. Is that what you said?
We should make those at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's almost like like a brownie with some liquid smoke in it. Except not liquid smoke. Let's just put like scorch, or we could even put some of this black. So I'm starting. Actually, I'm starting out with the Ardbeg Black.
Nice choice.
Yeah,
stuff.
I can get in there. But this is the one that was the New Zealand. Well, there we go.
There you go.
The New Zealand Pinot Noir cask with the black on it.
It's a gorgeous one. I really like it too.
It is. And if you watch our footage, so that we went through 6 whiskeys in 33 minutes. Okay, I'm thinking that's pretty economical. The rest of the video is us being terribly adorable after 6 drams and talking about fun stuff like our pre-gaming the night before you came. But yeah, that whole weekend, it was girls' weekend, right? We went to camp. It was awesome.
It was so great. I'd never been to your camp. It was so cool. I'd heard about it, and it was such a treat to go there. I can't wait to go back.
I know. We were talking tonight. It's like, we need to get the date down for the fall, because it's coming up, it'll be here before you know it.
Just not the weekend of the Bastards Ball, because we're very busy that weekend.
Yes, we are busy that week. It probably might be October, because September is like, poof, it's already gone.
It's going to come fast.
But, and it'll be nice and cool down here in October, as opposed to right now, which it is not. Goodness, let's see who else has jumped in here. Mark, you got to tell me which one you're drinking. I know you got an Ardbeg somewhere in there. And Donald Rance is in. Hey, friend. Actually, you're finally home. Thank you. I'm glad you're able to home. Maybe if you can pour one, then that'd be great. Awesome. Yeah. So we just kind of chilled out. You came in late. At the end of the video, you'll see that we did a little bit of pre-gaming, and we had a very special dram to pre-game. We went through like two or three. We were home. It was late. But my buddy Nate was sweet enough to give us the end of a Kalila 30. And
yeah, that was
that bottle.
Oh my gosh. Right?
And it was interesting. And I found a great parallel between that and then this 20-something, the 22, because the older, and Hoagie, I'd love to hear you chime in on this. Everybody do, please. But those who've had experience on older expressions of peated whiskeys, you've got peat, which is, for me, it's more the earthen, organic kind of flavoring. It could be medicinal. It could just be earthy, or I don't want to say dirt, but kind of substance. And then you have smoke, and the smoke can be barbecue pit or ashy or campfire,
for sure.
That. And I found on the older expressions, and that 22 really held through on that is that the peat is not egregious. It just mellows way out.
I might have to pour a little spot of the 20 something to remind myself of that.
I got a little bit here airing out.
Well, it's like the first time. So when we went to the academy, that was a lot of firsts for me. The academy was. Do you remember the night that we had the SMWS dinner?
Yes.
And there was the 26-year-old Lefroy called Remembrance of Fruits Past.
Yes.
And I tasted that, and I was like, I'm drinking a 26-year-old Lefroy right now, and B, and I've only had like 2 sips too, and I'm already fumbling over the word Lefroy.
It's easy.
And it was just, it had given way. The peat had just given way to such beautiful fruit notes. Like that was just a revelatory experience for me. It was so good.
Oh, it was. Oh goodness. So from your tasting, you can make yourselves an Ardbeg and a black single malt. Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting a little of that and a little of that together. That'd be interesting.
Oh, like a little Pinot Noir rye cask cocktail,
right? Goodness. Hey, Lana, thanks so much for being here, friend. I really appreciate it. Donald, you have the Ardbeg 10.
Ardbeg 10. Love that stuff.
So yeah, and I wondered if anybody was like, okay, you're doing committee releases, but you had Ardbeg 10, and we use the 10 as like our baseline. You know, it's just such a solid dram. It's so good. It's always gonna be on my bar. You know, and as we progressed, we had to have one to start off with, right? You know, so having that and having it, since it's bourbon matured, that to me was just like a great way to have, you know, a milestone here. And then where do these expressions, where do these committee releases go from there?
Yeah.
You know? And I guess for those who might not know what a committee release is, you know, I first thought that they were just one bottle a year that the committee would kind of get together and say, this shall be our committee release.
Right. Yeah.
But they're starting to do a couple a year, you know, and because I was like, wait, is that 2021 or 22? But they were doing a couple. So this past year was Fermentation and Ardcore, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's always the bottle that comes out, you know, the facial every May, right? That big festival. I mean, there's always the bottle that comes out for Ardbeg Day, but I mean, they'll do other releases during the year. For example, like Fermentation, which I've got some in my lineup, and Fermentation, it's funny, right? Fermentation, it got kind of a lot of jokes online as like the whoopsie bottle because you know, they had like a boiler. It was like November of 2007, I think. Hey, it's my parents. Hi.
Your girl's a maybe star. We love her.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. You guys better be drinking some whiskey while you're watching this. So around 2007 in November, a boiler like broke down. And so typical Ardbeg fermentation time is 72 hours. And they couldn't distill it after the 72 hours. So what the head distiller did, he just like popped the lids of the washbacks open. He's like, let's just let it hang out and ferment while we wait for the boilers to get fixed. It fermented for 3 weeks. Imagine it. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And then
make sourdough bread out of that by then.
Right. It was like, oh, hey, this is pretty good. Let's bottle it as a committee release, you know?
Oof. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, I can't even imagine. Can you imagine what that would have smelled like?
I mean, right?
True. It's probably like a sourdough starter, something like that.
Well, and to be honest, like and we'll get to it later, but like the nose on the Fermentation, there's a little funky funk on it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I remember that. So Hoagie Sensei, he does turn into interesting notes over time. The phenols break away and form new bonds. Generally speaking, it's getting less smoky, but there seems to be an exception to the rule. Yeah, I think, you know, because the peat and the smoke are in the malt, and, you know, whatever is left out of, you know, the whole fermentation process, much less when it goes into 2 different stills, whatever that is. I'm trying to remember, was it Ardbeg or was it Lafroig that had that weird thing on the line arm?
Ardbeg.
It was Ardbeg.
Like that little bulb kind of thing on the line
Yeah.
arm? Yeah, that's Ardbeg that's got that.
Yeah. I think I might have a picture of that here in a bit.
You were better at taking pictures. Like I was just having fun, like on the distillery tours at the academy, and you took all these awesome pictures. And I got home and I was like, why didn't I take more pictures?
I know. Well, I mean, my picture is you picture whatever you need. But we did. So the way that we met was through the Islay Whisky Academy. We went to there were 3 Americans, you, me, and Jason. Jason was Brooklyn. And then we had a couple from Norway, 2 very tall Germans. Then we had Giannis from Greece.
Yeah.
And Paul,
Canadian, yeah,
from Nova Scotia, and Michael, of course, from Inverary. He made a comment on Instagram. He's probably sleeping right now. You better be watching this afterwards, Michael.
You better watch this later, dude.
I know. We know things about you. I'm just but just getting around in that crowd, and of course Rachel bringing us all together for it. We had classwork in the morning. We had a field trip during the midday. Our field trips were everything from going to the Octomore Spring, the water source for Bruichladdich. Well, particularly their gin. I think they use it straight in their gin for that. And then you have Hunter's Farm. We went to an Islay barley farm. Just really amazing things. And then every day we went to a distillery in the afternoon. So I'm going to we're going to do a little slideshow.
Yay, I love slideshows.
Slideshows. I know, right?
And these were involved distillery visits. That's just like hours, right? Yeah. I mean, this wasn't just any quick spin. I mean, it was extensive. We spent 3 to 4 hours each one. Oh, easy. Yeah. And our tour guides were the head distillers.
Oh yeah. Or the owners.
Like John
and Anthony, Wills was the one showing us around, and
like John Campbell showed us around at Lafroig.
Yeah, I know. But we had Ron here, and Ron was the bomb. So let me see if I can figure this out. I'm going to do a share screen here. Yes.
Yay.
So this is part of Ardbeg. A beautiful Ardbeg. Let's see. Oh, Jim, I'm drinking the black too.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm loving it. I love that like dry tannin kind of finish. Little bit of mid palate spice. Love it. So they're just so pretty, but the pagodas. I mean, can we talk about the pagodas?
Sure, let's do it.
I mean, just everything here. I just love this place. It was just so zen and just really, really neat.
Right by the sea. Yeah.
We went straight into the dunnage and started drinking a few drams and all, and it was just so tasty. I did not do a good job of documenting what it was we were drinking in the warehouse.
We had a Renaissance. I don't remember if we had another, but I know for sure we had a Renaissance. I know there was a Kelpie sitting there that we didn't bust into. I was a little sad about that, but I'm not going to complain.
I know.
But we at least had a Renaissance. And it just after that, it was just the best scavenger hunt ever. So.
Yeah. It was very chill. I mean, we went in, because, I mean, how many distillery tours, like, there's pretty much the same way that they're doing things. This crowd was like, okay, how long is your fermentation? What yeast are you using?
Oh, fantastically nerdy questions. It was
oh gosh, we were not a gentle crowd, but just the idea that we were sitting here and the smell of this dunnage house with all of these casks it was just amazing. And so then Ron's like, let's go take a walk. So we went in. These are some of the mash tuns is just kind of going in, and you can tell Paul's got his whole head in there just
Oh, yeah.
taking a
We're just
whiff.
I know, we're
Yeah.
all just smelling the
All Oregon pine, just amazing, amazing stuff. And it was a good solid, a good sized group. You're not on top of each other and that type of thing. It's very high end. And he's like, let's go take a walk. And this is where you go crazy. You were just like, oh my gosh, Leanne. And I was like, what? And you're like,
he started dropping little hints, and like, because I know, I mean, I've been looking for all the past committee releases, and Ardbeg is one of all places. There's a whiskey bar in downtown Houston, and one time my dad came down to visit. So I was telling you we had been to Scotland in 2017, right. And he'd come to visit me in Houston, and I've been researching whiskey bars in Houston. And I found one downtown. I was like, hey, Dad, they have like a really good whiskey list. So we just took an evening. We like Ubered down there, and we just had like drams, and we revisited our Islay experience. We reminisced. And so they had several Ardbeg committee releases available by the glass. And I got like the last of a bottle of Ardbeg. And that was my first time to try it. And after that, I was like, must find Ardbeg, It's
yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I said in our first video, our first episode, it's a 2013 committee release. The farther back the committee releases go, the harder they, get to find. And so, I mean, I knew all about it. And it's just the little clues that Ron was dropping. I mean, my excitement's just mounting, and I'm like grabbing your arm, and I'm trying not to like over talk Ron. I'm like, man.
She was going all Ardbeg fangirl. It was beautiful.
So then he pulls it out of his dinosaur head.
And y'all, this was the last day. Okay. We took our test that morning. We're here this afternoon, and you're on the precipice of being sad that it's almost over, but you're still trying to soak every minute in because you're at frickin' Ardbeg on Islay. In Scotland,
and you're on a committee release scavenger hunt.
And so it was like, oh my gosh, they're already giving us Ardbeg. What else are we gonna have? So we pop over here real quick. So Hoagie says, it'd be interesting to see a 30-year-old Ockmore with over 300 ppm. But to be fair, it was made in the Highland, not Islay peat. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Highland peat's different kind of character.
Some of the smokiest old dram that I had did not come from Islay. It was Ben Riet. Interesting. Sure. Yeah. And there's such a big difference between the Highland peat and that. I don't want to say greasy, but the marine oil,
of course,
dinosaur. Kind of not slightly petroleum. I would say a little bit in there. Want to say a big shout out. Hey, my friend. Hey, Richard. Good to see you here. We're doing really well because we're drinking Ardbeg. I mean, we're doing great, friend. Thanks to see you. And Silverlock, awesome. Got the Supernova rocking. I hope you. I didn't have Supernova. I had one of the other spinoff ones 2 weeks ago. I have to go back and look at my picture, but yeah. Things, some of those
I've gotten to try yet.
Yeah, some of those I just won't ever get, and it's kind of sad, but that's okay. I'll find some other really good drams to have. And I saw someone. Oh, this guy snuck in. Hey, my friend. Ahoy there, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're drinking some peat. And your dad's piping up. Dad or your mom's like, yep, great times at a whiskey bar in Houston. And that's almost like a joke that started. Well, at one time we were in Houston at a whiskey bar.
It's one time on Islay.
Yeah, exactly. So Silverlock says, I love Ardbeg, but not the hype and silly prices. Yeah, there is something to be said about that because some of these committee releases have really just gone up the roof, and especially if you don't catch them when they come out.
Oh yeah,
you're trying to get it on aftermarket. Who, keep buying that lottery ticket.
Yeah, fermentation got expensive. I was a bit annoyed at the release price of fermentation, and I will say Ardcore went back down. Ardcore went back to a more kind of a I mean, approachable, all things considered, level committee release price. But yeah, like it kept climbing, like the Ardbeg, the rye cask one started getting a little more expensive. And by the time it got to fermentation, I was like, really?
Yeah.
But Ardcore went down compared to fermentation. So,
and I think sometimes the Ardbeg Day, the ones that come out at face shield, I think all distillery face shields are probably a little up there because it is what it is.
Sure.
You got to
all face shield bottlings aren't cheap. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And I think too, it's a good, I mean, we talked about it a bit in the video, but there's the committee release that comes out that has the seal where you have the actual committee release. See, I don't know my left and right on this camera, I swear. So you have that seal. And then that's like the first release of it. And then there's a second release, which they call a limited series. I still consider it the committee release because it's a variation of that first, but it is different. And so that first committee release with seal is going to be at a cask strength type or a batch strength type,
for sure. Yeah.
Usually 50 or up. But I'm happy that Ardbeg, we'll talk about that in a minute. Ardbeg really stands by a hefty ABV. They start at 46 primarily. So the Scotch is the one that we had was the limited release. So it was the second wave of Scotch.
Yeah.
The fact that in my market I could have gotten a seal committee release of black was amazing. You were in Houston. You didn't see that first release of Scotch, much less could find the second. And we actually had it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to understand those, two differences, and the prices, of course, are going to be different. The first committee release with the seal, it's a higher ABV. It's going to be more expensive for sure. So let me see who else is in here. Did I see, Richard was saying, wonderful benefactor of George Kaplan. He's an amazing man. Sent you some Supernova.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, friend. And Donald says the best Ardbeg experience was at the famous mixology bar here in Toronto. It was a nectarine and Ardbeg cocktail that had infused peat smoke in Ardbeg. And when you exhaled, it was an explosion. I can only imagine. You have to be drinking that with some friends, but the nectarine and the peat smoke, that sounds very interesting because of, assuming they made it with 10, you're not going to get a lot of sweet off of that bourbon matured, but a good, nice, warm smoke.
Nice little item.
That sounds very interesting.
I'm game. I try it. I wouldn't turn that down.
Yeah. And Jerry's, absolutely. That core range is still pretty affordable, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the 10 is just solid, $55, in my market. That's really pretty cool.
You get all like Corey Bracken if you need a high, of the core lineup, the Corey Bracken's got a higher ABV too, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah. So he says, don't call too many specials Ardbegs my own, but fetched one in 2013 from 2013 for Christmas 2019. Can you guess which one, Jennifer? should I hum? Should I hum Jeopardy? Dun 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 dun. For Christmas, so it was the 2013. Well, we drank one of the 2013 committee releases.
Yeah, I mean, Ardbeg was from 2013, so I'm gonna assume. So lucky you.
You have to tell us if she's right. That's awesome. So yeah, back to our time over in Iowa. So after we go through Ardbeg, that beautiful bottle.
There it is.
52.1. So Hoagie says, no, it was not Ardbeg.
Oh, not the Ardbeg.
Oh, that would be too easy, he says.
Fresh one from 2013.
Oh, that's a hoot. Oh, that's funny.
Well, thanks. Now it's going to be stuck in the back of my mind for the rest of the episode. I'm all distracted.
I know, right? So we moved along, and they have this huge old still in the middle of the courtyard area. And this is kind of a higher area. If you've seen the video, I kind of do a pan that you walk through this area and then kind of go down into the courtyard. Then we went to the still house, the original still house, because they were in the process of building the new one, which is now functional, and I want to go see it. But yeah, I mean, how glorious are those stills? I mean, they're just so pretty. And just walking through there and looking at that, the heat coming off of those things, crazy. Well, actually, I don't think they were running that day, were they?
I don't think they were. But you know that old still in the courtyard, that everybody likes to get their picture taken in front of? That's one of the old stills from like back in the old Ardbeg days. Like that, the 20-something that we drank in our episode back in January, the whiskey came from those old stills. So that was some of the last whiskey to come out of that old still before they retired it and put it in the courtyard as a cool, decoration to get your picture taken by. But that's what's cool about the 20-somethings is they came from that old still before it got retired.
So tell that story in a bit, because I got a picture of me in front of that still with Rachel, and we'll talk about that for a second.
Well, I think the 20-something that we drank was distilled in 1996. It was like right before Glenmorangie came in and bought up Ardbeg and got things running again. Because before, Ardbeg was, kind of half defunct, and they would make little bits of whiskey at a time just to kind of keep the equipment going and stuff. But that's what the 20-somethings are. Those come from a time when Ardbeg was sort of gasping for air, before Glenmorangie came along and brought it back to life. So that's why those bottles are really cool, because it's just a, memory of Ardbeg from back in those days. Like we said on our video, back in those days when its fate hung in the balance, and imagine a world with no Ardbeg.
I can't. That I would have to take to my bed. It just could not happen.
I have to take to my bed.
I'm gonna fall out and take to my bed. I'm gonna have a conniption.
That's right.
So Rich is asking, Ardbegian guru, you are, to give him some kind of a comparison of Ardcore to maybe some of the other Ardbegs, or what are you getting off of that Ard?
Yeah. I mean, since it's bourbon cask, it's got, the light color, it's got the kind of bourbon cask sweetness on the finish. I mean, to me, what really jumps out is you just get that dimension from the really dark roasted. It's not overly sweet, don't get me wrong, because I mean, the black roasted malt, I mean, you almost have a little bit of a bitter edge, if anybody brews beer and experiments with different maltings,
chocolate malts and stuff.
So you think about the bitter edge of a stout or a porter beer, so there's almost that bitter kind of cocoa edge to it, to me. So it's not super sweet. It's more of a bitter cocoa to me. But you've still got kind of that bourbon cask. It's got a fair bit of dryness to it, all things considered as well. So,
well, that dryness was actually a trait along all of those that we, just about every one of those that we had, which I was kind of surprised about. So we have another comment. Your old man deserves a gold medal or a bottle of great whiskey for introducing you to good Scotch. Sir, I cannot tell you how proud and thankful I am that you said, I want to go to Islay. Because if you had not declared that to your daughter, I wouldn't know her.
Be here.
And I can't imagine not knowing this beautiful soul that is your daughter.
Whiskey brings people together.
She is, and I think the world of her. Y'all did good.
I'll bring you a gold medal and a bottle of Scotch, Dad. Don't worry.
Next time she comes over, I'll have her pull some samples out of my collection for you.
Yeah, Leanne's got some good samples.
I appreciate that, sir, very, very much. Goodness. Oh man. So Don says the Ardbeg Corian actually had foam like balls in the infused bag. Oh, this is back to the cocktail. Okay. Oh wow. It was weird. I like weird and wonderful,
Weird and wonderful.
Normal and mundane every day.
Big and peat smoke with dry. Wow.
Oh man.
I would try that.
That was a fancy cocktail.
It's a fancy cocktail.
Fancy cocktail is a fancy Ardbeg. Oh my gosh. Y'all, we had so much fun. My face was hurting by the end of the night. We were laughing so hard. we were after those 6 drams, we were having a really good time. We stayed up to past 2 a.m. the night before, eating bacon and drinking lechik, a Blackadder raw cask lechik. It was just the bomb. It was so good with a stick of really greasy cold bacon. Highly recommended. Okay. And then
bacon made the Scotch sweet. Like the way they played off each other, it was just magic.
Just the smoke and the smoke of the bacon and the grease and just all of that was divine. It really was. We get to the camp, we have fun. It's a great, we're out on the dock, we're watching birds. We're, all the cormorants were migrating. So they were all just like in flocks of 50 or so flying just a foot above the water at the river. And then when Mark came and we got crawfish, went and ate crawfish and shrimp, and just came back and said, let's do a video. Let's drink these.
Hey, let's open these. Let's open these into a video.
I know, right? Oh goodness. Let me see. So I want to go back over here again. So yeah, we were at the stills, and then this is the new still house, right? So that's working, but it was really neat to be able to see that, work in progress and know that's going to house another whole set of stills to start making more Ardbeg. Because one of the big complaints about Ardbeg is that it's such low production, and now they're going to believe. And I'm trying to remember do you remember the existing stills were going to be wash? They were going to turn both of those into wash, and then the new stills were going to be the new spirit stills. Or are they going to 1 in 1 and 1 in 1?
Gosh, I don't remember that level of detail.
That's probably going to question on Roy's quiz Thursday.
That's an awesomely nerdy question.
Yeah. I'm going to have to find that out because that's going to bug me. I got to know. So, but yeah, just going out, seeing all the casts, just the whole ambiance there was just amazing. And so then we get going, and then they're like, Leon, come here. So Rachel's telling me, come here. So we go down to the jetty, at the end, and there's the beautiful water. And Ron's like, come help me. I need your help to pull this out. So he hands me a rope, and I start pulling a rope because girl, I'm from the South. I know how to work. We know how to do stuff around a boat. I pull this out. It's a lobster trap. In the lobster trap, there are 2 lobsters and a bottle of Kelpie. And we all happy. As you can tell, look at this face. I mean, how big can we get it? Can you look at this OMG face that I am making? Michael's got it all documented.
You look like you're just gazing upon, gazing upon some wonder.
I got some precious cargo in my hand, Just cracks me up. So then we pop that, and what's waiting for us are these oysters on a half shell.
Of course.
Daniel, if you're still on, dude, yeah, you're gonna have a fit. Pour the Kelpie in with the oyster. Holy moly. That was so good. And those are some big oysters too.
They're good. They're salty oyster. Good local oysters, right? But did you know after that day, anytime I go, like, one of my favorite whiskey bars in Houston is the Lock Bar, and it's also, you've been there, you know, and they like do seafood. And so like anytime I get oysters now, I'll seriously order like a dram of peated whiskey on the side.
Yeah.
I'll get like an itty bitty teaspoon or even just my finger or a straw. And I'll just like drop peated whiskey like all over my oysters. And people are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you should try this. It's very good.
It's very good. So on my website, scotchonthebayou.com, there is a recipe for char grilled oysters where I put Lafroig in them.
Brilliant.
So Chris has met me down here, and we've gone to Drago's, and we both had drams with that for sure. But yeah, so Daniel was saying, interesting, the line arm is outside and under a different roof. Never saw a line arm outside. Yeah, I think it stays contained. under a roof, but a different part of another building. I think they don't go. I don't think they go outside. Those aren't outside worm tubs or anything,
No,
right?
but like, can they though? Like, think about like Ardnaho. Don't they just like run out and right into the worm tubs outside? Isn't that how
Yeah, but
Ardnaho was?
I don't remember Ardbeg having those.
I don't know about not Ardbeg. Ardbeg uses
Yeah,
shelling tube condensers, but I'm just
yeah,
thinking of Ardnaho, where like the line
right.
on the outside and right into a
Yeah, they
worm tub.
could, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, the ones at Art and Ho are beautiful.
Oh my gosh, those worm
Yeah,
tubs are so cool.
they're just you'll see, Daniel, you'll get there. Oh my gosh. I'm so jealous. Oh, you're gonna have the blast. Yeah, so from there we went to the Grooves bus, and there's footage on there. And we were having yeah, that's where we had Grooves, right?
Yep, for sure. And I've not opened it. It's this over here. I've got a bottle of so the Grooves, remember on our episode we were talking about, the red wine cask thing, and Grooves is a red wine cask committee release.
Yeah.
And it's called Grooves because so they took it's supposedly some kind of Portuguese red wine. Maybe a Douro or something like that. So, and then they char the barrel so heavily that it like, kind of like, the alligator has such a heavy char that it makes like that kind of gator skin pattern on it.
Right.
So Grooves is called Grooves because the heavy char like creates heavy grooves on the surface of the barrel or the inside of the barrel.
Okay.
So Grooves is also red wine cask in a heavily charred red wine. So yeah, Grooves and Black are both red wine cask finish, just kind of different manifestations of it, I guess. And Grooves is also very nice. Nice, like it's very like got the nice kind of toasty marshmallow thing going on, but you also got the red wine cask thing going on. So Grooves is a very nice committee release.
Cool. Okay. So Hoagie says that he solved the little riddle. Check the Facebook for a picture. Okay, I'm gonna try, but I think Andrew, did you help me? Galileo? No, maybe not.
Oh, I haven't gotten to try Galileo either.
Man, that's one I gotta hunt down.
No, right?
Yeah. Goodness. Oh, I see this guy is in. Hey, where is it? Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Makes the sun red. Oh goodness. I hope y'all are safe out way yonder in Alaska. Goodness. Man, oh man, look at all the people that are in. Love it. Love it. I'm so glad y'all can join us tonight. It's a lot of fun. For sure. So yeah, here is
there it is.
Right. This is Rachel McNeil. She owns the Islay Whisky Academy. She is a force of nature. She is really something, and she has built an amazing program that you just you go through and you won't ever be the same at all. Daniel here is going to be going in September. If anybody ever has any questions about the academy, let me know.
Sure.
I'd be happy to talk to you about it. She took a hit like everybody else by not being able to have it for a couple of years. So she normally would only have it like maybe once or twice a year, and now she's got multiple times. But she is Isla, so she's got great connections when you go and do things. You're not getting the run of the mill,
no.
Cute co-ed showing you this is how you make these are the three parts of the malt.
Rachel also does. I mean, that's how I knew about the academy and met you, right? Is because Rachel does tours. So I mean, she's offering the academy, but Rachel also just does tours.
Yeah.
So whenever me and my dad went for the first time in 2017, I started researching Islay whiskey tours, and a lot of the first things that popped up were kind of these more franchise companies where they shove all of you in a bus, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, well, let's do this right. Let's see if we can find like a private type tour. And that's how I just seriously, a very thorough internet search brought me to Rachel's website. And it was like Wild and Magic Isla. And I was like, okay, she's local. Yeah. It sounds like she knows everybody. It sounds like she'll do a really cool customized itinerary. So, I mean, that's how I found her. And then we kept in touch after that. And she was like, hey, by the way, I have this whiskey academy. I was like, tell me more.
Right.
So that, I mean, yeah. So Rachel also does fabulous private tours as well, if you don't want to go for the academy experience.
I mean, and she really does put together a bespoke,
oh, absolutely,
one of a kind, talk what is it you want to like really get out of it.
Yep.
And she's very much of and even within the academy, and I'm sure, even with her private tours, she's very much into showing you how the whiskey is made by the people and the elements and the resources.
Yes.
So not so much the commercial side, or I mean, and the techniques. And she knows her technique. She knows her stuff. Let me tell you that for sure.
Yeah,
but she wants you to understand the elements and the weather and the earth and the spirit among the spirit. And that in itself, I think, is just it adds a whole nother level. It really, really does.
Yep.
Yep. And then you get your bestie and you say, let's take a picture in front of Ardbeg. Y'all don't have any idea how completely adorable we were by this time. We still had dinner to go and then drams afterwards.
Our graduation dinner, and then the barley farmer came, Hunter Jackson came to dinner, and remember he came to the after drams, and didn't those last till about 5?
Yes, you and Jason helped me get back.
We did. That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for, Leanne.
That's right. And then Paul and was it Jason? Paul, Jason, and I were all flying back the next morning, and I overslept. Didn't know where my passport was. That was fun.
You made it home. That's all that matters.
I made it home. I made it home. I didn't have socks on the first
socks. Small
socks when you just get on Logan Air and just say, I'll take a biscuit and some tea, please.
Oh my gosh. Well, I met my dad in Edinburgh after the academy. So we did the academy, and I took off so I flew from Islay to Edinburgh and met my dad. And so he and we started in Edinburgh. We worked our way up. We went to Stirling Castle, Deanston, through Speyside. So, I mean, I had an extra week in Scotland with my dad. And I remember showing up in Edinburgh and just looking at him and being like, Dad, I'm tired.
Yeah, because Paul and I, after I got my second win, we ended up going to the Bon Accord. So, no, to the Pot Still. We went to the Pot Still. And I'm like, taking a selfie going, there's no amount of Photoshop that is going to make me cute in this photo. Oh my gosh. I looked rough. I definitely looked rough, but it was something. Total watch hours. Thanks for asking. We're about 400. So it's a bit of education. So we need about 400 to hit the magic 4,000. It's on a rolling 365 days. So, if you would be so inclined, you have a computer somewhere, you need to mow the lawn, do some laundry, put a playlist of my live shows on, just let it run in the background. We're getting so close, y'all, so close. And Julia, I appreciate that so much. It's been a big help, and all the encouragement that we've been getting. But yeah, go ahead and hit that like button if you would, subscribe, all those fun things. I'm excited about more of things I've got coming in the fall for sure. It is a little difficult to talk a lot about whiskey when it's 114 heat index in South Louisiana. Thank God for air conditioning. I'll tell you that for sure. Is really something. So which one are you on now? Still the Ardcore?
Oh no, that's long gone. I'm nosing a fermentation now.
Fermentation now.
So fermentation, it's very fruity. And didn't remember, so this was what was so great about the academy is all the super nerdy lectures we got to attend. So remember, we had long conversations about yeast and fermentation and water and geology. Yes. And, I know longer fermentation isn't that responsible for a lot of the esters that give you the fruity notes. So, I mean, that is a really big part of fermentation too. So, I mean, And that's probably why they wanted to keep this stuff around, to just see like, hey, what does a super long fermented whiskey taste
Right.
like? And it's very fruity, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's a little, a little sourdough funky funk going on the fermentation. It's did I send you home with a sample when you visited me?
I don't
Right?
think so.
Maybe
I know we had it that night
okay,
before the
we had it.
concert. Yeah.
I thought I sent you home with some. If I didn't, I'll save you some. Don't worry. I'm seriously like, I don't want to say sweaty socks, but you know what I mean by like.
Yeah. It's almost like when an air conditioner starts up for the first time.
I mean, if I say sweaty socks, I only mean it in a good way.
In a really
Kind of
good
like
way.
Lafroig smells like Band-Aids in a good way, right?
Right. So Rich, yeah, you're sweet, darling. If you didn't look rough or feel rough, then you didn't have a good time.
Word.
I had such a good time. I mean, and I said this in the video, I hope that we were all given the grace to never forget how good of a time we had. Truly.
Just friends from all over the world. I mean, there was like the formal education during the day, and then there was like the after hours social education, right? Where you just like hung out with your academy buddies and like listened to Robin Lang and just like opened a bunch of drams and just talked.
It was there. And it was interesting because we kind of talked politics, right? Because it was in the throes, 2019, October 2019. They were still, really talking about Scotland and Scottish independence. And, there's some big opinions about that. And, opinions about our elections and all kinds of fun stuff. But it was a mutual respect of everyone who was attending that, because everyone was of the mindset of wanting to learn, and no one came in pretentious. No one came in going, "Oh, well, I've done this and this and this and this."
I was scared those people were going to be there. I'm not going to lie.
I was too.
I was like, is this going to be one of those? Because listen, I come from the world of wine. Okay. Like I work in the wine industry, and you go to a professional wine tasting and you get some of that. Right. And so I was afraid there were just going to be the, professional sommelier type people nosing the whiskey and, but it was so not that.
No, it was not that. It was geeky. It was great. You find your tribe.
Yeah.
I mean, I stay in contact with just about everybody there. I think Michael's not the only one. And Michael had Tobias to kind of translate, but his English was not as good as his German, but he had a great time. He was sweet. We were laughing. And we were
Silent Mike. Everyone called him Silent Mike.
We break out and have a basketball team. I want both of them because they're like 6'4", both of them, like y'all are my ringers.
So sweet. Yeah.
You can have Michael. I'll take. I love you, Michael. I really do. No, he just cussed me. I can hear him. But no, that and the music, Michael and John McShane, the global ambassador for SNWS, singing Robbie Lang, at 1:30 in the morning over a 26-year-old remnant of that Lafroig, or that, and then Michael was the one that brought that 21-year Springbank.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, holy,
and then we're just sitting there having drams with the guy who grew the barley that was in the 2011 Islay barley,
which is a great bottle, by the way.
Fabulous.
Have you reviewed that one, or has that been on? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I've got a review of that one. And it is a sentimental favorite. I mean, the dude poured the glass. He poured my whiskey. He grew the grain. It's amazing. Great times on that for sure. Well, I'm working through the Scorch.
Yeah, tell me about it
now.
Tell me about your Scorch.
It's so this is the one, when we were there at Ardbeg, and I tried to turn the Southern Charm on for Ron. It's like, I'm sure you've got a bottle of alligator somewhere up in here.
You got some alligator in there.
I'm from Louisiana. We have alligators. Surely there's a bottle of alligator around here. I'm sure there was, but he didn't produce one. So I was like, okay, I tried. I can't help it.
He tried.
And so, real quick, relatives. His birthday, Donald. Happy birthday.
Aw.
Oh,
Happy
and you're
birthday.
so sweet, friend. Thanks so much. I wish you many wonderful dreams for your birthday. I
Yeah.
do. Sans Java for sure. And speaking of birthdays, missed your birthday. Your birthday was a week ago.
I don't care. Don't worry.
Happy birthday,
No, thanks.
Sanja.
It's a bunch of thanks.
Sanja, thanks.
Whatever.
But no, so I'm like, Ron, where's the alligator, bruh? You know, bring it. And he's like, well, no, I don't have any of that for you today. But funny thing, a couple of years, there's going to be something very interesting about alligator
And
that you'll
now
get to have. And I'm like, well, that's not a tease. I mean, come on, man. I
don't
gotta wait a couple of
in the
years.
dark.
Couple of years, and it turned in to be Scorch. So Scorch uses alligators' old barrels.
Very cool.
They're alligator charred barrels, hence the name alligator.
You know, it would be great to try. I mean, wherever one could find it, you can find it by the glass on Isla, but you know, Lord of the Isles would be kind of awesome to try someday. I imagine who needs socks anyway? Thanks, Mom.
I can't imagine. Yes, we're definitely charming and quite adorable at sometimes.
Thank you for calling us charming. We'll leave it. Yes, we were charming.
Judy adorable is my Southern way of saying I'm slightly buzzed and a little drunk, but I'm okay.
A little adorable.
Totally functional. No, it's that is really something. Yeah.
Hey, Abby's here.
Abby's here? Oh, I see Abby's here.
What's up, Abby?
She wants some alligator too. Well, when you come to the camp in the fall with Jennifer, you'll see some real alligators.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we can get you some fried alligator or some alligator sauce pecan. That's for sure. She said, but the Scorch made up for it. Yeah, it is pretty tasty.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it doesn't have a heavily char because I think alligator, all of that took that care of that, you know, in the first go of it. Let's see. A month ago, some oldies like you. We're sipping some Jack in WT. When you wake up on the floor of the bathroom, oh my. And then later again in another bathroom. Well, it's rough. Yeah, I could see that.
Happens.
That's a little, you know, a couple of times. So Hoagie's after Jennifer, nothing against Lord of Isles, but if you ever head to Berlin, now that's a road trip.
Okay, say when, yeah.
Give me a proper. Let me give you a proper Prince of Isla, the Lagavulin tasting.
I mean, gold.
Yes. So Hoagie is to Lagavulin as you are to Ardbeg.
Gotcha. We can have a. Well, not really, just two different things. I was saying we could have like a very polite discussion on the merits of both.
That's right.
Also, I love Berlin. I haven't been to Berlin since 2005, but I really like Berlin. Great place. Cool city.
Oh, well, good. Then I'll go with you because I've never been there.
Again, friends all over the world. That's what whiskey does. Brings
it does. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, and that's a funny thing we were talking about in the video, and I ended up cutting it. I don't know why, but because we had an hour and a half worth of footage.
We talked.
to cut something. We had so much fun, y'all. To the point where I felt bad that y'all weren't right there with us at the kitchen table at the camp with the we have to turn the refrigerator off next time. You have to remind me because every time the compressor would come on, you kind of hear this buzz.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Oh well. So what?
I was like, we're at the camp.
It was a real video. Yeah, you know, it didn't have to be like
real life, you know. But I always thought it was Ardbeg. And then we get there and everybody's saying Ardbeg. Ardbeg. No, Bowmore instead of Bowmore.
Yeah.
You know, so the emphasis on the second syllable. So if we sound funny, we're not sounding bougie. We're doing Win in Rome and all that, you know. Ardbeg. Andrew. I thank you for being awake. You and Hoagie, my heavens. This is very, very early in the morning for you. Very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Man.
I think on Isla, if you go to like the Bowmore Hotel or the Lochside, you can get a dram of Lord of the Isles for like 100 pounds or something like that. So it can be had, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, a bottle of something, if you could even find it, would
Probably a
be
couple grand now if you were to try to find a
yeah,
bottle on an auction or something. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. That's a lot. But the scorch is and I said it in the video too, is it's very balanced. It's sweeter to me than the 10.
Here, I have the sample bottle that you so generously gave me. I'll just have a little pour since you're tasting it, so we can
Yeah.
taste it together.
So I was trying to see who else had Abby, are you drinking scorch now too?
What you got, Abby?
Definitely. Mm-mm. Interesting.
IP95. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Sometimes you just have to do that though. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like, when are you ever going to get there? Are you ever going to get a bottle of it? Heavens.
Well, either shell that out for a glass, or yeah, I mean either that
Sell
or
a kidney,
yeah. Scorch is good.
It really is. It's very balanced. I mean, it's got a good smoky, slightly ashy taste, the sweet and just a hint of a spice to it, but it's again the dryness characteristic I find in most all Ardbegs. Just very easy to sip, especially at this 46% version.
I always laugh because that was one of my favorite moments of our video is when we were having the scorch. We're like, you left your marshmallow on the campfire for too long. Because that's what I think of when I smell the scorch.
Yeah.
Because you're right about the ashy edge to it, right?
Right. That marshmallow just went aflame and you have to blow it out, and it's got that kind of crunchy, charcoaly.
Yeah, sure does.
Yep. That's it. That's it. So of all your so what other committee releases do you have?
All right, let's see.
I think you've gone through most all of them.
So I have a little drum hiding back here. So that's the rum cask. Drum's nice. Got a lot of tropical fruit on it. It's like you're hanging out on the beach on Islay, of course, because it's got the salt and the iodine. Yeah. But you're like, grilling some like ham and pineapple and stuff like that, So yeah, drum's cool. There's the black, the New Zealand Pinot Noir cask. I have a Kelpie back here. The Kelpie is not yet opened.
Yes, I have a sample from Bill Hensley from our kinship, our Academy kinship.
Yeah,
he sent me a bunch of different Islay and the Kelpie, and I'm not going to open it. I want to open that and have that with him. But that Kelpie out of the sea.
Well, Kelpie will always have a special place in my heart. First time I tasted it, I was like, holy crap, this is a salty whiskey. I like salty whiskey,
Yeah.
So there's a Kelpie. Okay, so this is now part of the Mark. There's absolutely a dark cove there. Dark cove's hiding back there. Good eye. I do have this is, I believe, is going to become part of the core lineup, the Trevon, the 19.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is gorgeous bottle.
Now, which one? What year is that?
Well, it's 19 years old, right? And so, but think about it. The core lineup, the only age statement you have is the 10.
Yeah.
And so this is really the first age statement that's going to be part of the core lineup in a long time. And so I think it's going to be around. They're just going to release it in small little spurts, right? I mean, you're not going to get a lot like put out at one time. I personally enjoyed this one. It's not cheap, so you have to sort of wait. Because I'm a big fan of same thing in the wine industry, right? Like I work in retail, and whenever I recommend wine to customers, I'm a big fan of the price to quality ratio, right? So something can be good, but if the price point's high, it's like, was this worth it, right? So that's kind of that sweet spot is for the money, this drink's great, which is how I feel about the Ardbeg 10. I feel like it drinks above its price point, right?
Yes, I absolutely agree.
So yeah, Trevon.
Thank you so much. The birds are chirping. It's time for him to
Bye.
Go to bed as the world is probably waking up in Berlin. Friend, thank you so much. We will definitely see you soon, friend. Oh man. Thanks for being here. Oh, so yeah. So I was the reason I was asking. Oh, looks like we lost Jen for a second. Or maybe lost me. um, is whether or not the let's see. Uh, that Mark was disappointed. I think that first year was a little different, but the year that we had before or this last year was not, it was different. So there's been like 2 or 3 versions of it. Um and I'm not quite sure um and I'm not sure which one. I think hers is actually the newer one. The one that you and I had at the Bastards Ball, I think that was that first year. Yeah, you had that year 1 bottling. Yeah. You back with us?
Whose internet was that? Was that mine?
I think that was yours.
I
Yeah.
just sat here and it started like, idling and spinning, and I said, hello.
Nope, you're back with us.
All right, cool.
Cool. Yeah, so we he and I both had that 19 year, that first year it came out. That's why I was asking you like which year that is, because I think the newer one.
This is the second release. Yeah, this is not
Yeah.
the first release.
I think that second release was much better from what I remember.
I don't believe I had the first release. All I know is whatever I have, I like. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness.
Okay, so 20 something, which we know from the
Yes.
there's the bog. There's the Ardbeg.
The bog.
The bog.
The bog.
And then the Ardcore Fermutation, Ardbeg, the rum cask, and then grooves. That's the lineup there. Yeah.
That's a hell of a lineup, friend.
I mean, yeah. I got some Ardbeg to drink.
Yeah.
Ardbeg party over here.
Seems your dad likes the Dark Cove. Your dad and your mom.
Well, Dad, I still have a sealed bottle. I know I've located a couple to send to him for like birthdays and Father's Day, and I'm pretty sure he drank them all. That's what they're there for. So,
yeah. Oh, hey, Chris. Good to see you here, friend. The 10 and the grooves, both enjoyable. Yeah, the grooves was groovy. They're, I know you kind of pay for it to an extent with the way the dollars kind of go for Ardbeg. But they've got great marketing. The marketing that they build around their facial and expressions, their Ardbeg Day, Ardbeg, that rye cast. That rye cast was very surprising. The nose on that was just very out there. It was very loud compared to some of the other ones,
Sure, yeah.
It was. But
the Scotch is nice.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We've already run over our hour. Like I care.
Yeah, time flies when you're.
It does.
Having fun.
It does. I'm circling back to this black. So Mark JG is going to be over next April, I think you said, Mark. So y'all are trying to stay at the Ardbeg B&B.
What's it called? Like the cottages? Yeah, the little cottages.
Yeah,
the CV something C something cottages.
Yeah, but they're like the Master Keats house or something like that. I think that's what they called. That's just too funny. But no, anything else you can think of? We talked about the Academy.
We talked about Ardbeg. We talked about the Academy. We talked about our visits.
Yeah. It's just I think it's a solid distillery. The people were very nice. If you ever get the chance to go, if you're ever on Islay, I think Ardbeg is a must. We were treated extremely well at every distillery we went to, but Ardbeg threw out the red carpet. I mean, I think we were there 4 hours.
Oh, I'm sure we were.
I think we were at Lefroy longer because I remember Rachel going, wait, all right, I'm done. but it just, you didn't want to leave. And also it was that last day and we were just like, amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, okay, I love Ardbeg, but I mean, a trip to Islay is just a treat. I mean, there's something I love about every distillery, right? I mean, I love Kilchoman, you know. I mean, of course, there's not
Yes.
a single distillery I don't like, to be honest with you. It's so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, Ardbeg, I think it's just I formed some sort of, I don't know, you form bonds and attachments to things for various reasons. And I think the Kelpie was the gateway to loving Ardbeg for me, funny enough. I just found a whiskey I really liked and I just sort of jumped on the committee release bandwagon after that. And that's how it happened. But I mean, there's not an Islay I don't like, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like that's the only thing you drink. My heavens, no. You just kind of found that one thing. And and because all islands are so not the same. They're so very different. You know, you have your favorites, you have your okay, I could probably pass that up. Just like you do any other thing that we have in our lives. But yeah, it's just very, very interesting. That you can have something like so peat heavy, and then you could go to Bunnahabhain and it be, you know, light and airy.
Love Bunnahabhain.
The difference and you know, between Ardbeg and Kilchoman, I just absolutely adore Kilchoman.
Oh yeah,
love everything that they do there.
Me too. Seriously, that is a good. Just like they make good whiskey.
They really, really do. Hey James, another one up in the wee hours, my friend. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I know you could get into some of these drams for sure. Dad's saying, enjoyed the descriptions of all the Scotch. Very informative and love watching. Anytime your daughter can get on this with me is it.
Thanks because, for tuning in, guys.
Very sweet. Because truly, you know, you're sitting there, and you're on this. I'm going to throw this back in here. You know, we're there. You know, it's our last day, and the smile on my face is so genuine because I know I have a friend now for life, you know, and we've been lucky enough
to be out of the water. Be honest.
Yeah, that too. Much less the 5 drams we had there. So
might have
that added to it. But we truly, you know, I knew then I'm hanging on to this person. This is she gets me, and we've been lucky enough to be able to literally be 5 hours from each other, which is a long way for some folks, but here in the States, that's just down I-10.
Yeah, but you could have been from California and I could have been from New York, and it would have been like, oh, hey, we're Whiskey Academy friends, but when are we going to see each other? So now we just hop on I-10 and, you know, done deal.
That's great. I mean, you can come over in the afternoon and be here in time for drams till 2 o'clock. Then we'll go to camp, you know, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully the tech is solved, y'all. This is the third modem right back there. Count them 3. 11 technicians, knock on simulated wood, that we've had a good, clean broadcast tonight. I really do appreciate your patience. You have far more than I do, and a whole lot more than my husband. Just say that. But no, we'll wrap it up here. Again, if you could hit the like button, I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. The video on all of our tasting notes on those committee releases, the 22-year-old, along with the 10, all of that is in our video that we just launched out yesterday. You know, you can sit there and watch us for 45 minutes because we are quite adorable, or you can just take a listen to it while you're, you know, taking the dog for a walk or whatever. It makes it for a great podcast. We're very close on those 4,000 hours. So any help you can give us that, let your whiskey friends know about this. We're doing really well. We're climbing. We've got well over 1,000 subscribers now. And I really do appreciate all the support, encouragement to get the channel going. And for people like Mark G that comes on, and for you, Jennifer, thank you so much for all that you've given me, and time, and friendship, and whiskey. expertise, all of those things. You're a dear, dear friend, and I
And you're
can't thank
killing
you.
it. You're killing it. You're doing awesome at this. Your episodes are so good. They're informative. They're fun. So you're just, yeah, you're kicking ass at this. You're doing such a great job.
It is a lot of fun. Well, hang in there. We're gonna run the end. But thanks again, everybody, and we'll be talking to you soon. Hope you have a very safe holiday weekend next weekend, and until next time, Sláinte y'all.
Sancha, y'all.